CJ, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, it was great. Last time it was fun, man. I was a little nervous going into it, but then I got comfortable as things kind of gone on.
Yeah, definitely. We talked a lot of football, and we're entering week 3 of the preseason, and I'm
Yeah.
watching Jackson Dart highlights on Twitter right now, and
Oh
Jack,
yeah, I'm actually keeping up on it right now.
yeah.
I did see him go into the tent, but he looks okay now.
Oh really? He got roughed up.
Yeah, he ran through, went down. They ended up having to take him into the tent just to check on his shoulder a little bit.
Okay,
But they said he's okay. He says he wants to get back out there. So
it
he's
was one of those things, like a stinger or something, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I he's my favorite guy out of the draft, and when I just there's something about him. I like it. I can't explain it, but
a lot of people a lot of people gave him praise. Like he's been talked about a whole lot. Even Ole Miss coach, he loves that guy. He
mhm.
saw a lot of potential in him. He did come from USC before transferring to Ole Miss, and he's worked out pretty well for the program for about I think 2 to 3 seasons. So yeah, I'm definitely impressed with him right now. Hopefully, he works out in the regular season. Like if anything, he might be well, not him, but the team might be my sleeper. I don't know why, but
Definitely. They've got some
I
pieces.
yeah, they're like the defense. The defense is one of those reasons. But I think if anything, if Wilson and Dart kind of work out for the Giants' offense because they kind of put some things together, I don't know. They might surprise some people. They might surprise some people this season.
I think so. They've got a number one receiver. They've got a good, I would say, a sleeper tight end in fantasy. If you want to talk about sleeper tight ends,
Yeah,
Theo Johnson in his second year. The staff really liked him in year one. I remember watching the HBO series on the Giants front office.
yeah.
They like Theo Johnson a lot. I remember that about that series, even though that's not the most memorable part. Um, and then the defense, I mean, Dexter Lawrence, you got, uh, I'm trying to
Kayvon
think,
Thibodeau,
Brian,
Brian
yeah, Brian
Burns.
Burns,
Oh
like
my
that's a crazy
God,
D line.
man.
So
Yeah,
they're a definite sleeper, and they've got a good coach. Dable's a good coach.
yeah.
So
I'm hoping he does have a chance to stay a little bit longer. I just felt like he was a good coach the whole time, but there was just a couple of years to where things just didn't go his way, and just trying to find the right quarterback and the right type of offense to work for him. It was definitely a struggle. I was kind of thinking, okay, if he doesn't work out, does he go back to Buffalo as an OC for a little bit? But
do you think that that television series that showed the GM's ineptitude saved Dable's job?
man, if anything, I've always thought about this because even like I've heard about I guess the Cowboys Netflix series and pretty much Jerry Jones making his decisions. Like even some people didn't appreciate the choices he made for it, but it's just like it's his team. He can do whatever he wants with it. He's
Yeah.
trying to put together his own, and at the end, it did work out. They won what I think what five like three Super Bowls with him, four Super Bowls. I don't recall. I gotta look back, but I think the Giants, like at the end of the day, I think the Giants did make the right decision. I felt like Saquon's years would have been wasted with him. It was just ugly.
Yeah.
It wasn't a smart move at first, but then kind of looking back on it, like it worked out for the Eagles, but seeing what the Giants kind of put together during that season too, I felt like okay, maybe they do have something. I'm going to give them a couple of years, maybe they'll be competitive again, but they might be on that trajectory. It might work out for them like someday, man. So
It all started with that Daniel Jones contract. And
yeah,
the only reason Daniel Jones got that contract is because he had a great playoff game against the worst Vikings defense, the second worst Vikings defense of all time in the playoffs.
yeah.
That's the only reason why he got 40 million.
I was a
And
little baffled by that. I'm like,
well, yeah, it was
okay, so he gets
nuts.
the contract, but what about Saquon, man? He was one of the main reasons for it. Like Danny Dimes did some good stuff, but
No, it was
like,
Saquon.
is he worth 40 million? Like, are you
No,
kidding me, man? Like, come
no.
on.
Now, when somebody has like an open path to the end zone and has no players around him for 10 yards in a 10-yard radius,
Yeah,
and you fall,
yeah,
I'm not giving you 40 million. I'm just not.
no. Hey,
I'm not.
but that's the
I will
NFL,
remember that
man.
as a GM. I
Yeah,
will remember that for the rest of
yeah.
your career. Yeah. So I think he did end up punching it in, so good for him. But still, that's something else.
Well, good luck to him and the Colts, man. Good luck
Yeah,
to him and the Colts. That's all I
yeah.
can say about
You,
that.
you got anything else on the football front?
Just one last thing. College
Yeah.
football is coming up, man, in 2 days, and I got this thing right behind me too, and I live off of that, so it's gonna be a good season. I I think it's gonna be the most exciting and the most unpredictable for some conferences. Like we're always thinking of the obvious now because we're so used to it. But this might be the era to where things might change because the NIL, the transfer portal, has kind of balanced things out for some teams, and I'm still doing my homework. I'm trying to put together my 12 teams that I think will make the playoffs. But I'm still looking through at least 16, 17 more teams from like 4 to 5 different conferences. I'm like, I don't know. I feel
Well,
like there might be some questions, and there's other teams out there that I feel like may have a chance. But I'm just trying to go with the logic of what the NFL teams have in order to make it to the playoffs, and I'm just trying to kind of like write off of what college has. It's just, man, it's a little difficult, but at the end of the day, man, I'm excited. This should be a fun season to watch.
it when you when do you think you'll have your final 12 made?
I'll have it by Monday. I was
Okay.
trying to get it done for tomorrow, but
Yeah.
life happened. I'm
Right.
have a couple of things I'm trying to get taken care of before week one of next week comes out. But I'll have plenty of time for the weekend to put that stuff together. Like I've already posted other college stuff like prior to that. I'm already cooking. I have some stuff I'm planning on having out for the next few days next week. And then I'm just going to move forward to doing my usual routine for it. So yeah, I'll have it out by Monday for sure.
We should have you on to present it at some point when you have some time, if you would be willing. Sorry to put you on the
Yeah.
spot while we're recording, but
Yeah, I would like to make people think if anybody's a football fan or a college fan of it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. If you're if you're available sometime next week, I'll see if I can fit it in.
yeah.
Man,
Well, you're
I
gonna be busy, but just let me know. I'll try to be flexible. Just let me know.
yeah. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll
Yeah,
see what we
we'll
can
figure
do.
it out. That's off air stuff, even though I just asked you an off air question.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, this is the whole thing, man. Everybody
Yeah.
has their own opinions and predictions. I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, I love it. I would like to I'd like to go over your list with you. I watch college football from afar. I'm not as deep into it as let's say the NFL, but
Yeah.
I am intrigued. I would like to hear a little bit more about it. So
Okay. All right.
yeah, yeah. I got 5 Big 10 games this year with the Gophers that I'm going to be doing the data entry for Sports Info Solutions this fall.
Nice. Okay. This should be
So
good.
yeah, I'm excited about it. It's something I've never done before. You get, free seats at half half field, and
Oh, that's perfect.
yeah, and you just sit on your phone and you enter data of what happened on the play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All
So,
right.
but it can get challenging because there's a lot of distractions and the college game is so fast, and
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous for my first one, but I'm sure I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. If anything, if you have to, like, I don't know how quick you have to get that information out, but if they're able to give you time to like look back on videos and stuff, like even the whole game just to see like, okay, if there was something you missed out or you want to add in, you can. So yeah, I mean, if anything, dude, just have a good time.
I'm
It's
just gonna have
it's
fun.
it's it's a fun experience.
Exactly, exactly. And it's just a good opportunity to network and continue to meet new people and just keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So other than that, you were telling me before we hit record about some religion that you were diving into or a conversation you had.
Okay, so this one's pretty interesting. This goes back in, I'm gonna say, March. I was in the middle of watching I don't know if it was March Madness already or if it was about to be March Madness, but I got a knock at the door and it happened to be Jehovah's Witness people.
Okay.
It's their thing.
Yeah.
So, they were curious on if I want to know more about it and everything. I wasn't about it at first, but then, kind of hindsight view, like, you know what? I might as well learn a little bit about, the Jehovah's Witnesses background and,
Yeah.
how people do it, how they worship their type of religion and stuff. So, I talked to them. I said, I have a little bit of time in between since I got the off season, but I got basketball in between. Why don't you come to me like in May or something? So they got my contact, kept in touch with me. And I think once it got to about May, then I got into contact with them, right?
Yeah.
So the first meeting I had, it was just a knock on the door. There was just a couple of people, Jehovah's Witnesses that was outside. They were asking how I was doing and everything. They want to talk to me a little bit about Jesus, God, and the
Right.
Bible.
Right.
Um, and they gave me like a minute video that they wanted to show me, and they went over some discussions with it. So that was the
Okay.
first thing that happened. I think the second or third time they came by, they wanted
So
to do.
so that was like the first day that
Yeah,
they
that was
came.
like the first day.
So so before the second time they came over, did they like text you or call you again and say, "Hey, when are you next going to be home?" Or do they just show up again?
No, they actually scheduled me the next time I'll be at home. So
Okay.
I didn't give
Okay.
them the contact information, and that's something I'll get to in a moment.
Okay. Okay.
So the third time they came by, they wanted to see about talking a little bit, like I guess a Bible study. So I let them in. We had about a 15-minute, 20-minute conversation about it, which was pretty interesting. We started with an open prayer. This is what kind of opened my eyes a little bit when we did the prayer. You
Okay.
know how you know how you do a regular prayer and then you mention like God or Jesus or something.
Yeah.
They
Sure.
say Father Jehovah in their
Okay.
prayers,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'm like, really? They say that? So
While you're
after a
talking,
couple
I'm
of
going to look up what Father Jehovah means unless you know.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Continue. Continue.
yeah. So after a couple of times, I asked them like, why do you guys say Father Jehovah instead of God? Because that's like it's their religion. It's pretty much the same as God's name,
Yeah.
but they go by Jehovah instead of God. And it's like, okay,
Oh.
okay, and I can understand because
Okay.
there's like I don't know what it is about Christianity. They have all certain sections of their types of religions, like Catholics, as one of the examples, the Christian of Latter-day Saints. There's all different types of Christianity religions. It kind of boggles my mind a little bit like,
Oh.
okay, how is it just not one religion? Everybody's split out.
Yeah.
And I did a world religions class about that.
Right.
It's been a while since I've done it, but I've kind of picked up on it. Everybody has their own reason for how they worship their God. But Christianity, it's just like they have their own little sections of how they worship
Hmm.
in Christianity.
Yeah. There's a lot of
But
subsidies. Yeah.
yeah, but I did about like I think 4 or 5 Bible studies with them before football season just got close. So I ended in my last one 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and I learned a good portion of I learned a good portion of it, but it's pretty much the same thing like I would do if I went to Bible study or if I went to a Sunday church or something.
Okay.
They go over the verses of just what the Bible is, like in certain sections of it. For theirs, they have it on a phone app, which is pretty interesting. Like I've never had a Bible study with anybody with a phone app. It's usually in the book of the Bible. That's
Yeah.
why that's what I grew up on since I was a kid.
Right. Right.
But yeah, we went through the app. They showed me the ropes, like, okay, you go here, go there, go there. This is what we're gonna do. They have their little lessons, like lesson 1 through 5. And I went through an entire lesson with them for that portion of that time that I had with them. And it was nice. It was nice just having it. Um, but it's just like they seem really committed to the Bible. Like they live off of the Bible scriptures and their words and everything. And their mindset is about, I can't say it's as similar as just regular Christianity. With mine, theirs is more like they're looking to be optimistic that things will work out. Like there will be a perfect world where there's like no illness, no hunger. Um, the family that we've lost, we'll be able to see them again. Like they're like pretty much they're just trying to like their mindset is they're just trying to find their utopia of it. Like that's what the utopia of our world will be someday.
So
And
that's what you kind of picked up from their teaching is, or the studies is their outlook on humanity is back before Adam ever took a bite of the apple with Eve.
yes, pretty much. Yeah,
Interesting. How do
exactly. They mentioned that. Yeah.
so how do they have they talked about how they get there? Is that by spreading the word? Is that
For them, yeah, it's
yeah?
by spreading the word, and it's not the first time I've ran into them before. Like when I first moved up to Nevada, I've ran into a good couple of Jehovah's Witnesses that either had brochures and pamphlets about it, or they even
Mhm.
talk about it. So I already anticipated what they were gonna like tell me about. So
So are they trying to ease the question onto you about going door to door?
yeah,
Okay.
I've already picked it up.
Okay.
Um, and and like from here's my thing. Like I'm hard to get peer pressure on. And from what I took away from it also is I guess they're trying to find people that feel lost, I guess, as well.
Sure.
So I don't know if they saw that from me. Like, where like the areas that I live in, they're not that bad. But I guess there's just some people that are like down in their hard times and stuff.
Oh
And
yeah.
I can understand that. But
Mhm.
it's like me, I went through that during COVID. I went through that coming out of COVID as well too. Like I've lost people in my life. But like at the end of the day, I had a perspective. I had to talk to myself about this whole thing, and then whatever messages and quotes that I have to take from it, like it gave me myself motivation to get myself back up, dust myself on, just kept moving on. So if they would have caught me when I was like really down in my life, then maybe they would have had a chance at it. But like at this point, like I'm good. Like I know where I am. I know where I am in life. I don't really need to, be a part of what they do, but I can understand like, their partial reason why they're trying to get people to go to door to door. Like I had a friend that went through something similar like that, but it was more of a job thing than it was a religious thing. So I
Mhm.
can kind of I saw the resemblance of it a little bit.
Well, first of all, the fact that you didn't shut the door on them the first time, I give you a lot of credit because that's the typical response.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably get like maybe one house in neighborhood, and you were
Yeah.
that guy that was willing to listen. So I commend that personally. I think it's always good to hear different perspectives. So I really respect that. I did type in what Jehovah means. I can read it to you.
Okay.
Father Jehovah refers to God in the Old Testament, with Jehovah being a Latinized version of the Hebrew name for God, which means I am or He is. The name was formed by combining the consonants of YHWH with the vowels of the Hebrew word for Lord as the original pronunciation of the tetragramma- tetragrammaton was lost. I don't know what that word is. Was lost
Hmm.
to avoid taking God's name in vain. Christians generally view Jesus as God the Son and Jehovah as God the Father, though
Hmm.
the concept of their relationship can vary among denominations. So that's where that comes from. I never knew that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you grow up in any kind of religious upbringing of any sort?
Mm, I know that's a bit of a loaded question,
Hmm.
but
You
I've
can unload it.
but but like for me, I've always grown up Christian,
Okay.
and I'm gonna die a Christian.
Sure.
But my mine is a little complicated, and
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. So
Do it.
the first time I went to church, I think I was like, well, my in like when I was first aware of it, I was like 5 or 6, and I think when we
Okay.
got settled in Oklahoma, and I went to my first church, I kind of got a perspective of it a little bit. I didn't know much about it. Like I'm an ignorant child. Like, no,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just going,
you're
I'm
five or
going to Sunday
six.
school. I'm going to church. I'm reading the Bible, all this and all that. But it's like, what is it about? I don't understand it. Why am I going every Sunday? Like, what's the whole point of it?
Yeah.
And my mom, my grandma, big time Christians, but if anything, my grandma was much huger of a Christian than my mom was before
Mm.
she eventually, became more expressive about it. But I don't know, something about me, I just kind of went against it a little bit, but it's just like, okay, under my parents' orders, I gotta go. So, and it was just a normal traditional Christianity
Yeah.
thing. So went to Sunday school for a few years until I got to middle school or high school, and I had the option to go. And if I don't want to, I don't have to. Like I've learned enough about it. But there was times to where I can understand going to church for a reason. You want to be able to get the message out there, maybe talk about it and everything. But otherwise, like even my mom said to the like these days now, I can read those in the Bible. Like if anything, I have more time to read the Bible than go to church. Because like even when I got old enough, I thought about going to a couple of Sunday schools, attending one church, but I really didn't have much of a reason for it because like if anything, I look for quotes, I look for like main verses that feels like it's gonna touch me more.
Hmm.
So I focused more on that.
Sure.
But what got me, and I felt like, okay, I can see where my hindsight view came, was one Sunday church when I was going to high school. And, after we were done with it, about a couple of days later, I'm hearing it from my mom. Apparently, there's some drama going on at, at that church. It had nothing to do with my pastor because he's awesome. Like I still keep in touch with him too. He's a nice guy. But it's just like everything else going on around him. I'm like, well, I thought the whole point of going to church is like a positive vibe. Like you're supposed to be able to learn, you're supposed to be able to be around positive people.
Yeah.
Well, putting that out there and me having to like hear about it, find out about it, it's like I don't know, man. Like I'm not there for the bad vibes. Like that's just not for me.
Yeah.
So I can't like for me, I've learned, you know what? I need to learn more about that. If anything, I need to like find out about other religions too, just to kind of get an idea. And this is where I had another religious upbringing. And
Okay.
like, and I don't know when it started, but I was in middle school, went to a carnival one day that was in town, and there was a little Buddhist statue, the little green jaded Buddhist statue, and I still have that to this day too. It kind of got my eye a little bit, so I happened to get that. I bought it. I bought it, and then I got the little yin yang stuff, and that's more. I think I might be wrong, but it's more of a like Taoism or Taoism or something like that.
Okay.
I got that too, and I ended up studying about it. And from what I took away from it, it's like Buddhist, he tries to bring good vibes. He's trying to teach you how to live without suffering, pretty much. How to get away from there was a word for it too. There was a
Escape the
word for it.
chaos. That's about peace. It's about
Yes,
inner
yes. He
peace is
wants you to
being
be more
Buddhist.
peaceful.
Yep.
And that's what I was looking for. So I ended up being much more close to that than I was with Christianity. And
Sure.
as much as Christianity was trying to like, invoke positiveness, be close towards God and everything, I felt like Buddhism was more peaceful. It was more peaceful. It kind of made me feel comfortable. Like, okay, I feel like I can be accepting no matter who I am as a person. And that's what I've always been searching for in my life. I
Yeah.
didn't see that with Christianity or Jehovah or even Catholicism because I feel like there's a lot of judgment. If you're doing
There is a lot
something
of judgment.
wrong, you're going to be
Yeah.
called out for it.
Hmm.
Buddhism and Taoism, to an extent, everybody is human. You're going to make mistakes. As long as you're able to learn from it and not make those same mistakes again or grow from it, you'll be a better person. And that's what I took away from it.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I
so
can I ask you a quick question?
yeah, yeah.
Um, so it seems like what you got out of Buddhism was positive. Do you think that you need to belong to a religion in order to believe in God and to connect with God?
Okay, that's a tough question. In my opinion, like for me,
Yeah.
I don't mind being a part of a religion. I really
Because
don't.
it gives you that sense of community, maybe, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't really have to. and this is like here's my reason for it, because I don't really need to be like I know who at this point I know where my life is. Like I know if I do belong to this group or not. I don't have to be a part of a religious group just to make myself feel good. As long as I know I can feel good about myself in my life, like I'm good. I'm good with who I am and where I am.
Yeah.
And it's coming from a guy who moved around since he was 1 years old. Like I've made friends and then lost friends and then moved around so much in my life. Like it's just hard kind of maintaining the consistency of a relationship with people. And it's really difficult for me. So that's where I'm like, okay, this is where I have an identity crisis. But as I gotten older, I kind of figured, you know what? I'm good with who I am. If I want to talk about this with people that I hang out with that are like in my group, yeah, I'll talk about it with them. Like I have a couple of people that are open minded about it. They don't mind listening. But being a part of a religious group, I don't mind being a part of it, but just wanted to go into one, I don't really have to. And
Yeah.
it does take a certain group of people to actually have an understanding of what I have, because my mind and my life works differently than everybody else. And some of them might actually understand it and others might look at me weird. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking
I I just the question just kind of came to me as you were talking about it because and you don't necessarily have to belong to the religion, but even be like if somebody asks you, what are you associated with? What are you associated with? And I'm thinking myself, what am I? Because I don't
about?
really believe I'm a Catholic. I went to Catholic school growing up, but I don't think I'm Catholic. Because I'm not a big fan of the Vatican and everything that goes into that.
All right.
And like I don't I talk to God every day, but I don't go to church. I don't I have a Bible, but it's the King James version, like one of the originals, but and I don't read it on a daily basis. I more so have it just for as like a blessing.
Yeah.
But if somebody asks me, do I believe in God? Heck yeah, I believe in God. I mean, God is the light inside of all of us, right? So
Yes.
um it's a really you're I think what we're seeing as generations continue on is maybe breaking away from the chains of religion and it having such a hard influence and making other people feel so ashamed. And as you and it's your story so common to everybody else's story. My grandma was the most religious, my mother was religious, and then as we see our parents get older, their faith does continue to build, but then I've noticed, especially in modern times, the break away from those strongholds of, oh, I'm Catholic, oh, I'm Christian, is
Yeah.
starting to kind of let loose a little bit. It's like that freedom. um so I completely understand what you're saying when you say that about like you don't need to belong to one, because you don't need to belong to a religion to believe in God and have a relationship with God.
No, you should be
It's
able
not
to have a
necessary.
choice. You should be able to have a choice to
And
make.
and that's what God gave us, was choice, free will, choice. That's God's number one gift to humans, was free choice.
Okay, so can I mention something else?
Yeah.
Okay, so and exactly that's what we were talking about. Like you should be able to have a choice.
Yeah.
Now, when I was in college at that time, I was coming out of like a student center, and I was stopped by a person of Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
and he was asking me like, "Are you a person of Christian faith?" And I told him yes, but in me, I'm being straight up honest and blunt about it. I told him I'm a person of faith, but I'm also exploring other religions and trying to learn from them.
Yeah.
The reaction I got from him was pretty priceless. Like he just looked at me and said, that's a sin of looking at other religions. And I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
So we were kind of having a small conversation about it, and I'm trying to get to class and everything. And then he tells me he's been a Christian for 8 years. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, that's good. Like he told me his daughter was an influence on her because he had such a hard life, struggles and everything. I don't remember what else he told me. I'm not going to throw anything out there, but he felt he was lost. But then after he had his daughter, he had a different perspective. So I guess he had to make that change. And I guess Christianity was a part of it. I don't know if he went to church. I don't know if he read the Bible. He didn't go deep through. but he ended up becoming a Christian and was a Christian for 8 years. Like, okay, that's awesome. That's great. But I felt offended that he would judge me like that, saying, okay, I'm sinning because I'm not 100% committed to my religion.
Mhm. Have
I'm like,
you,
it makes no sense, dude. Like, I was born a Christian. Like, I've been a
right,
Christian for, like, at the time, like 20 plus years.
right.
You've only been a Christian for 8 years. You cannot be judging me like that. Like,
Have you,
otherwise, I like, honestly, I would be schooling him right now. But I was being respectful of it because
sure.
what he said, it's like, okay, I can understand. Like, everybody has gone through their own, like, adversities of life. And whatever motivation or inspiration they can get from them, I'm all for it, but the judgment was just like, dude, come on, man. So I I took that as a bit of an offense, but I moved on from it, and that was one of the other reasons why I questioned religion, because like that you're trying to throw judgment and guilt on me because I'm learning from other religions. Like I have friends that are not Christians, they're Catholics or Jewish or whatever, like even Jehovah's. Like they've all have their different types of religions. So what's the problem with that? What's the problem with being around people that are in different places? What is the problem with learning from other people? Like it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed who I am, but I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be a better person, more understanding person. So it's just like, okay, that was a first in a while that I've been hit with that judgment. So that was, but
What's so crazy about that too is, how Jesus disappears from the Bible from like 13 to 27.
yeah,
And there's different ancient tablets, emerald tablets out there that say that Jesus during those years traveled the world to go learn Buddhism, go learn yoga in Bali, to go learn masonry in Egypt, he went around the world learning different religions and then eventually ended up coming back to Jerusalem. That's part of some different ancient texts.
okay, that
So
part I
for
never heard
for
of.
for a Christian to come up to you and say that's a sin is just silly because Jesus did it.
Yeah,
I mean, now, of course, that's not 100% true because we don't actually know. But it's, I find it very interesting. And I'm like you. When I went to Costa Rica to do the whole ayahuasca thing, there's all religions there. It's a very spiritual experience, and they have like your Pacific Islander statues that you can worship if you're a Pacific Islander. They have your Buddhist statues. They have everything there because it's
nice.
because it's not about, as I was saying to you, and that's why I think I'm getting this thought, is it's not about religion to have faith. It's just not. It feels like religion, if you go way back in time, religion is what was the beginning of wars in the first place.
Yeah,
But what's funny is, let's say you and I are different religions, but we both believe in God. So why are we fighting with each other? And then
yeah,
religions were created. It's the whole Democrat Republican thing in a politicized way. Back then, religions, they took on their own. It took on its own. It became its own monster.
yeah. It's just it's ugly. It's just ugly hearing on it, and then it's even uglier when you're experiencing it. It just
Mm-hmm.
makes no sense because I thought the whole thing was about spirituality, positivity, trying to bring people together. But then you're having these arguments, you're kind of splitting up and judging each other over it. It's like what's at this point, like what's the whole point? Like what's the meaning at all then if you're gonna make that a situation for it?
Right, right, and everybody has their own journey.
Yeah.
Everybody has a certain way to get to where they are, and it looks different for everybody. So for somebody to say that to you, that's really funny to me, and I would
Yeah.
suggest some more inner work. Can you imagine that role in life of approaching people and trying to get them to convert to your religion? What do you think the success rate is doing that?
Well, my reaction is, well, no, not reaction, but the sound of it that's pinging in my ear and my brain all the time is it just sounds cultish.
Do you think like these the group, like Jehovah's Witness, for instance, and I'm not
Hmm,
disrespecting religions, but I'm
no,
being a little bit
no,
funny.
yeah,
Do you think they all meet at like a center before the day and like they hand out their flyers to each other and be like, all right, here's the game plan today? And then like, you know, we got John here who actually got 3 people enrolled this month. Do you think it's like one of those things where they're all, because there has to be some sort of organization for this whole thing to work. So I
Yeah.
don't believe it's outlandish to actually theorize about something like that. I think it's actually close to somewhat of a reality. There has to be a game plan. Otherwise, it wouldn't be as organized as it is.
Yeah, it's not like they're doing it on a whim, just going door to door just for the heck of it. I know, like, I can already sense this is like an organized type of thing. So it's like, okay, straight off the bat, I just know. I just definitely know.
Well, I'm sure the presentation was very calculated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's funny.
but yeah. And I'm not trying to offend anybody on this.
Yeah.
There's just times to where I just find some things that they do, and it's not just one. There's several of them. I just feel what they do, it just feels organized. It feels, and again, to me, it just sounds cultish because they're trying to influence people to come in, whether it's by force or just lenient, just easing their way, just
Yeah.
easing them into being a part of it. That's where, like, even me as a kid, I felt like okay, I'm just acting stupid, but no, like my instincts just somewhere is just telling me something, just it just ain't right. It just feels off for some reason.
Have you ever dug into cults at all?
No, but I have learned from it just enough from either just reading certain trying to think, just reading certain stuff online, and then even watching a couple of movies that like
Yeah.
involves it.
You ever watch
It kind of gave
Waco
me
on
at least a
Netflix?
quarter of an idea.
Waco on Netflix?
No, I don't think so.
And I think a lot of cults are like this, but essentially what this guy was doing, this cult leader, is he had like this big compound house, probably like 20 bedrooms, and like there's this dance studio on the main floor, and he would convince husbands and wives to come live with them. And what the deal was, what the offer was, somehow the woman would bring the man there, the wife would bring the husband there, and then he would convince the husband that he will have sex with his wife for the husband, so then he doesn't have that burden of having to have sex with his wife.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and then he would have kids with all these women, and those dads would have to help raise the kids that this guy was knocking up their wife while
Oh
they're all
my.
living in this house. So this wasn't even the half of it. So to go a little bit further, okay, it's starting to get picked up by Texas authorities that this is going on. So then
Yeah.
the FBI shows up. And by the way, I'll rewind a little bit. The dance studio, he would like dance on stage, and they would all just like watch him dance on stage every day. Anyway, uh the Texas authorities get a hang of it or a hold of it, and FBI, and they end up surrounding the house and say, "Come out of the house!" Like they wanted to arrest the guy.
Yeah.
And there's all the families inside the house, and now it's a standoff because they're not coming out, and the FBI is now standing around with guns. And the big debate is, and this is part of the television series. Of course, it's way more dramatized than what I'm going to say. Um, is did they shoot first or did the FBI shoot first? And they say that the FBI shot first and caused this big shootout. And anyways, the house ended up getting some sort of Molotov cocktail or something gone off, burned up, killed everybody inside of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is I think it was like the late or early 90s or mid 90s maybe.
Okay.
It's a super interesting, it's like a docu series, so there's real acting, but it's based on, those are my favorite. I love those. But it's super super interesting, called Waco.
Waco.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, like, wait, is it like Waco, Texas, pretty much?
Yes, it was in
Okay.
Waco, Texas. Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's can you imagine being able to hypnotize people like that?
I can actually, like I said, after a couple of movies I watched, oh yeah, I can actually see that happen.
Yeah,
It got,
could you make me drink the Kool-Aid?
I mean, shoot, I don't know, man. I could if it's possible. If
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
if
Well,
I'm
if you
able to
gave
do
me a
something like
chance.
that,
Yeah.
but oh man, dude, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it's wild. It's wild that you can convince. somebody else to fuck their wife and they be okay with it. It's I mean, I know that's a thing in some different circles, but like
Yeah.
to do that is just wild, so wild. But anyway, if you don't have any other cult stories, we can continue moving on.
I think we're good. I think
Yeah,
we're good at that. It's
yeah,
just like, yeah, man, like I said, man, my experience with that, like I kind of like again, I kind of sensed it, but it, at this point, I'm glad I got a perspective of it.
yeah.
Like that to me, like I'm willing to learn new things, but at the same time, like, dude, you just it's gonna take a long, long time to convince me to be a part of something like that
I
one.
don't. I think you're on the right track. You have your faith, and you you seem to be. I don't. I'm not around you all the time or anything like that, but it seems that you are on the right path. I can feel it through the Zoom camera here. Would you agree? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think you're doing well from the limited times that we've talked, but I feel
Oh
it.
yeah.
I feel the energy.
Yeah. No, if
Yeah,
anything, I'm feeling your vibe as well too. That's what's making it so cool to like, just discuss it with you.
buzzing. Uh, are you were asking me about video games?
Yes. Are you a big time gamer?
Um, yeah. So I won't go too much into it.
Okay.
But before before I went to Costa Rica and got sober off hard drugs, I played video games all the time and did hard drugs.
Oh, wow.
And it's been an adjustment for me getting back into video games over the last 6 months
Okay.
because there's a lot of correlation and I I can't play any sports video games right now. Period. Because that's mainly
That's
what I played. So most recently, it's like hour, 2 hours at a time. But like I did the Battlefield 6 beta last week and the weekend before.
okay.
And then like with my son, we play Fortnite a lot.
Nice.
I play some Marvel Rivals every now and again.
Oh,
I'm
everybody seems
excited
to
for
love it.
GTA 6. I loved
Yes.
GTA 5. I actually heard that Rockstar now this is finally a serious report that Rockstar is talking about Bully 2 like in 2029.
What?
Yeah.
No way. Okay. That's cool. All right.
Yes. Yes.
I was
There's
wondering.
nothing official, but it came from a pretty reputable source. I've been waiting for a Bully 2 for since Bully 1.
Okay. I think a lot of my friends I know of play it, so I can imagine their excitement as well too.
What were you
Uh,
going to ask me about though for video game?
like what's like I played it since I was a kid. Like that's my thing about it. But I was gonna say like, what's your genre? Because my genre is like action adventure, and then I recently got an RPG. A lot of it's Mass Effect, and that's the main reason I got into it. But outside of that, like Pokemon, anything Nintendo, and then I got introduced to shooters. But I mostly play like sci-fi shooters like Mass Effect, Gears of War, and Halo. Those are my three main games. I tried to get into Battlefield and Call of Duty. I don't know, for some reason it just doesn't hit me as well as like sci-fi fictional would.
Call of Duty has just become a gimmick. You have you ever tried like a PUBG before?
I couldn't get myself into it. The same thing
Okay.
with Fortnite as well
Yeah.
too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. Fortnite took me a long while, but after seeing my son continue to play it, I was like, oh man, I do want to play with him. And then when I start playing with him, I start having some fun. So I guess
Nice.
there's maybe some like memories tied to it as well.
Yeah.
Um, but I've never really picked up the Mass Effect or any kind of sci-fi game like that. It's always been sports video games for me, for the
Okay.
most part.
Yeah, I do
And
play plenty of college football as well. Like I used to play a whole lot of Madden before. I think NCAA 14 was like the last game for like a decade or so. And then I
up
just
until last year, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So other than that, yeah, no, what do you play on? You play on Xbox or PlayStation or PC?
Xbox, and then I just got back into the Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
So have
Switch,
you
yeah.
heard of Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes, I've heard of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yep.
I got back on the card game, and it
Okay.
took it took Twitch because they had the Yu-Gi-Oh series going on again. I watched one episode of the OG. I felt like I was 12 years old again.
Always one of those kinds of things, like a nostalgic.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good run. I'm still playing it from time to time. I think it's just collecting the cards and trying out the monsters. Like that's what's so exciting about it. But then playing the game itself, it is a little bit complicated. But I'm slowly getting myself back into it. But yeah, like I said, I mostly stick with like college football, just sci-fi shooters, and then of course the Nintendo Switch.
Speaking of nostalgia in video games, something I do that I think is super, super uncommon, something that I watch is when I was young growing up, big NASCAR fan growing up.
Okay.
So like NASCAR Thunder 2003, Thunder 2004. Anyway, I I watch YouTube streamers do the career modes on NASCAR Thunders, and I following them do the career modes where it's like 100 episode series of them playing the NASCAR game, like the career mode all the way through. Like you have to upgrade your engine, upgrade your suspension through working your way up where you buy your own team and you have to pay your team, and
Oh
it's
my
really in
God.
depth. And then you go and do the races. It's
Yeah.
fun. I what I'm bummed about is like I was like 9 years old when I had it, and I just never did that. I just did like quick race. I never went to the career mode. And so I went out and I bought a PlayStation 2 thinking like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And I played it once. I'm like, this sucks. I'll just rather watch somebody play it.
I've always wondered about it because like to me NASCAR is not in my mindset, it's not like Mario Kart or Forza. Like
No.
even though Forza kind of got more in depth with it,
Yeah.
it's nothing like it. So I'm always curious, what does NASCAR look like just playing the game itself? Because what the regular NASCAR, you got to do about like what between 150 to about 200 laps or something, like depending
You
on
can shorten it.
location.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you can do 10% races, you can do 20% races. That's you don't have to do the full 500-mile races.
Yeah, it feels like forever, honestly,
Yeah.
just going in circles, turning left the entire time.
There's something about it, man. It gets me going, dude. I love NASCAR. I'm that might be like my second almost first sport.
Like, is it better to go to like an actual environment just to watch it, or you're better off like at home watching it on TV or stream?
I think so I've never been to a NASCAR event in my life.
Okay, okay,
But because there's not a track in Minnesota, unfortunately. But personally, I think if you were to do the video game, you would get into it because once you begin learning about, because there's a lot to it. It's not like you press start and you race your game. You have to set your tire pressures.
yeah,
You have to balance your weights. You have to balance your suspension. You have to set up the car, and you have to run practice laps and try to get it to set up correctly. And then
oh,
the
okay.
thing about going in a circle is multiple times. I understand how you would think it could get boring, but something that happens when you're driving in that circle is your tires continue to wear more and more, and then your opponent's tires continue to wear more and more. And what happens is when you're going into a turn, you're not turning like you were 10 laps ago because
Yeah,
now you don't have any grip. And when you're trying to turn, now the back end starts kind of weaving out on you a little bit. So you're almost trying to keep the car on the track without spinning out while you're racing somebody else on bad tires that's getting loose. There's just there, and it's a cat and mouse game because some guys are really good on the short run, and then as their
yeah,
tires wear, it starts to slow down because the car is set up to have better tires or run better on better tires, and then you have other guys that have the car set up where maybe they couldn't dive it into the corner on fresh tires, but now because the car was set up a little tighter in advance, they
yeah.
can go faster on the worn tires. So there's a strategy game involved with it. It's very, very in depth. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So it's one of those things where you kind of got to know what to look for,
Mhm.
but I
I
love
feel
it.
I feel like just hearing it from you, I'd rather watch the driver like just during the race instead of just watching cars go around and just seeing perspectives of it at times. Because I'm that type of person who likes to see like what's going on like on scene like during a game.
Yeah,
Like basketball and football, I can see everything. I can see
right.
what's going on the court or on the field. But NASCAR, I can't tell what's going on with the driver inside the vehicle
Now you can.
until yeah, like until they hit the pit stop or they crash or they hit the finish line.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's like the only three or four things I'll probably get out of it. Maybe you might end up hearing something like off, I don't know what they call it, like on the sidelines for NASCAR, but maybe hearing it from them, I could see myself like seeing their perspective, but I would like to see each driver's perspective, like what's going on inside. Like, okay, are they good? Do they need to make adjustments? Are they freaking out or something?
You can
And
do that
then
on
at the same
Max now.
time, yeah.
That you can go
Oh,
inside the car for the whole entire race and you can listen to the driver and the crew chief's talk.
really?
Yeah, you can pick whatever driver you want to follow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give that a shot then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's what
really
I like
fun.
about it. I want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my laptop and I have a TV up above me and a TV over there.
Yeah.
So on like NASCAR game day, I guess if you want to say, I have like the normal broadcast there. Then I have my favorite driver up here, and then I'll have like my second favorite driver on my laptop. And I just geek out. I
Nice.
just geek out.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
love it.
That's awesome. That's kind of like me. That's kind of like me when it comes to football. I have like two to three different screens. I want to see what's going on with this game, and
Yeah.
that game as well too, and then check the stats when I get a chance as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a
Okay.
lot of fun. It's I guess that kind of what makes us a kid at heart. You know, when we talk about being 12 and playing an old Yu-Gi-Oh game or whatever, it's like it's what helped us find joy when we were little, and it just if you
Yeah, it makes us feel good. Like it hits different. It hits different for it.
I
Um,
uh I recently I'm gonna switch a little bit of gears up with you.
yeah.
I've begun so I've never I guess shared this with you, and I don't know if you know this, but like 2.5 years ago I was 225, 230 pounds. And since I came back from Costa Rica in February to now, I'm 171 now. So I've lost
Nice.
almost 55 pounds over the last 2.5 years. Anyways, I've recently begun running finally, as of like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Because I've been doing like a lot of hiking, like 10, 15 mile hikes. And I I decided, well, maybe I'll just like try to run for half of it. And I got this what they call a runner's high, which I've heard before, but I've never known it exists. And I was reminded when I was young, when we're speaking of nostalgia, this is what reminded me of it. I was remember when I was young that we always we had in our Catholic school we had gym class up until 8th grade, and
Okay.
we had to run the mile once a quarter, and I was always second. I ran like a 5:55 on average, and I was always second place to this kid named Jack Peterson. And anyways, like the final quarter of I think it was like 7th grade or maybe 6th grade. It was like one of those years. I was like, I'm gonna train for this. I'm gonna try to beat this kid. And
Yeah.
I was like a 5:55. He was like a 5:35. So, anyways, I ran a 5:15, and he ran a 4:55.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
yeah. So we always went back and forth, and I always finished second to him. But I had kind of like blocked out that memory until I started running again. I remembered, oh my God, I used to love running. And it was something that made me happy. And somewhere along the way, from being 13 on up to 32, I forgot about that. And it's something that is like super fulfilling. I just felt the need to share that for some reason.
Okay. Is it like is it was it like a competition thing? Like after everything was done, you just felt like you didn't have the motivation to go, or like what was it?
Why I stopped running?
Yeah.
Well, we stopped running the mile in gym class.
Oh, that well, of course.
And it's somewhere in between. I just didn't think of it. You know,
Okay.
it
So
just
pretty much
never.
after you were done
Yeah,
with gym, like
yeah.
okay,
When
no
you're
reason.
because then we went on to high school, and I didn't run in high school because
Oh, okay.
I really dislike track. They made you wear sweatpants in unless it was like 95 or hotter. So
Yeah.
they didn't want you to pull something. It's like, no, I'm not wearing sweatpants, and I'm not gonna run in sweatpants at 90 degrees. I'm not doing it.
No.
So yeah, I just some somewhere along the way forgot that I enjoy it, and I it's uh it's really great.
Nice.
I'm liking the results too. You do any running or any kind of lifting or working out?
I work out. I'm working out a lot more than I ran. I'm trying to think because I ran for a good bit until I got asthma, and I think that's when I was like 7 or 8. That's when I had asthma, and
Oh,
it was so difficult. It felt like every time I'm trying to take a step to be explosive, it feels like my air has already been like my lungs have been compressed already. Like I'm already feeling like I'm gonna suffocate,
oh, that's
and
terrible.
it was really hard, and it's genetic as well too. So like I'm the one who's paying for it. But the good thing about it is, like my dad even told me, I think once I get older, my asthma is gonna like eventually go away. And I realized that by the time I got to 19, when I started running a little bit more, it didn't feel like I was suffocating as much. There's times to where I guess my lungs are still trying to adjust a little bit, but I'm not suffocating like I used to. Like I don't need my inhaler for it. I just, run my mile, take a deep breath, just cool down, get some water in me, and just move on. And I didn't have to suffer like I used to growing up. Like where I lived at, like I had asthma in Oklahoma,
I was
and
gonna
then where I
say,
lived at before I moved to Nevada,
did it have to do with the environment of Oklahoma? Because I've heard from the sandiness or like the desert plain, it can
that
kind of
probably, yeah,
really dry.
that probably kickstarted it.
Yeah.
But it got worse when it got to the valley in California. It just didn't make it better.
Mm.
Between between the pollen, the pollution, and the agriculture smell, it was the worst experience of my life. I still have no idea why my family still wanted to live it where they wanted to live. It was just not for me. But I stuck it out. I made it through. And like I said, by the time I got to 19, I grew out of it and I got better. What made me feel really good about running, like even for fun, was when I moved up here in Nevada. No smog, no smoke, unless it's a wildfire or something. I mean, the air was nice. It was clear. Like even there's times to where there's like a pollen count, but I'm able to kind of like run through it, overcome it. Like just as long as I don't breathe in too much of it. I ran, I ran uphill where the school I went to before I transferred to the university. I ran uphill and around and did about like a mile, I think a mile and a half in total. And then the campus was just like encapsulated from it. And I ran the entire thing. I never felt that good until I was done with it. Like I felt like I got the runner's high off of it. And this was like a first time I think in my life that I was able to get something like that.
Yeah.
And it got to the point to where I ran it twice, and even a time to where I ran with a weighted vest. And
Ooh.
it was just it was a great experience. It was a good feeling. It sucked,
Yeah.
but
It's a
I
mental
made that
game.
yeah, I made that
Yeah.
decision too. Like I wanted to see like how far I can push my limits before I can say I can't do it anymore. And I did it for about I think 5 or 6 years. But what motivated me to do that was I got into a car accident. Like my friend was driving me home from the animal shelter with his girlfriend and another friend that was in the car with us. And we got into a car accident. And I don't know, for some reason, I kind of had some thoughts. I kind of had some thoughts running through my head for like the next 2 days, and I just couldn't get it out of me. So what I did was once I got up to the fitness center, the first thing I did was just like grab my gear, go out and just run the hills. And I haven't done this until that time.
Yeah.
So I ran the entire thing. It took me like 20 minutes or so, and it cleared everything up. And ever since then, I've
Mm.
just done it for like the last 5 to 6 years before I moved on to work at the casino job for a little while. But I ran from time to time when I could, like during COVID and even a little bit after COVID. But I haven't really ran ever since, my dad passed away and, I had to deal with all the funeral stuff and everything. And I
Yeah.
just haven't ran much ever since. And I keep telling myself, you got to get out there and at least run, even if it's like from your apartment porch to the trash can and back, even if it's just one time, at least try to run. And I just got to find that motivation to do it again. Like, like you were able to get yourself back out there and do it and
Yeah.
have a good time with it. I'm still trying to find that.
Started with
But
walking.
yeah, I get plenty of that.
Yeah.
So
You get a lot of
yeah,
that in.
it's a start. It's a start. I try to
Yeah.
get 8,000 steps in per day.
Sure. But what I meant by it starts with walking is like just like setting aside 2 or 3 hours in your day and just go on a path
Yeah.
and just keep going. I had done that for 4 or 5 months, and then it just kind of developed into running. But I mean, I don't know
Okay.
how long I'm going to be doing it for, but I feel like what you said, it clears your mind so much, and even going for a walk clears your mind. And then on top of that, I don't know if you've ever done anything like fasting before, but I fast once every few weeks, maybe once a month. I do my most recent one. I was able to do about 76 hours. I've kind of worked my way up, but it's also, if you want to talk about a game changer as far as like mental clarity as
Yeah.
well as energy, it's it's euphoric. It's very euphoric, and the wild thing about it is I'm at a point where I eat one meal a day and I'm very, very satisfied. And it's a
Hmm.
nutritious meal. So I'm able to, fulfill the whole protein, the healthy fats, and, the different things that I need. But it's, I just can't tell you how nice it is not to worry about eating all day long when you have so much shit on your plate, and
That, yeah, the eating part, I'm starting to adjust myself to it. It took Lent. It took Lent to do it. But that was before I got sick at some point. But I've done this thing to where I'm doing no meat Thursdays or Wednesdays or something like that. So I do a day to where I'm not eating any type of meat at all,
yeah,
but I'm finding my alternative to get some protein. So I usually get rice. I have my protein shake sometimes, especially if I'm working out on that day. I'll have that too. But it actually felt different, but it actually felt good too. Like it was kind of nice not having to think about, okay, I got to get a burger, or I got to get like
yeah.
ground beef in my system or something at
And then
least
you get
once per
tired
day.
after you eat it.
Yeah, yeah. And it actually made a difference. Like I've gotten myself on a pasta, like spaghetti without ground beef being mixed in, and just eating rice. Like I've always been a rice guy without like sugar or salt, butter or anything like that. I don't know why I said sugar, but somebody could have put that on there. But I've always been that type of person to like eat the natural stuff, like
Yeah.
without much seasoning. I will only do that with meat. And then I'm trying to think what else I've done. Probably, I think soup as well too. That's what I will do with it. But I've tried to get myself to kind of like be healthier a little bit.
Yeah.
Not trying to say I'm trying to go on a diet, but I guess make adjustments to my eating habits a little bit just to make myself a little healthier. And no meat Thursdays has made a difference for me to where, okay, I don't know what I'm going to eat for dinner, but you know what? I'm going to spruce up some rice or spaghetti and I'm just going to have that. And it felt pretty satisfying.
Yeah. It's, you know, if you ever get tempted, I would say the easiest way to even do like 24 hours, because they say like the 24 to 36 hour window is like the most effective window as far as not just fat burning, but also after like that 20-hour period, then the cells in your body start disposing of the bad cells in your body. Any kind of cell
Yeah.
that is considered toxic, it is able to eat those cells and get rid of them.
Yeah.
So the way that I've always said it is eat dinner at like 5 o'clock, go to bed at like 8, and then don't eat until 5 o'clock the next day. And then
Mm.
right there, you did a 24-hour fast. But what's important is when you reintroduce yourself with food, you
Yeah.
want to make sure that there's no carbs. You want to
Mm.
replenish your system first with no carbs, and then slowly reintroduce carbs. So let's say, you mentioned spaghetti. Don't have it
Yeah.
after the 24 hours. Have it 24 hours after your first meal. Make it like a hard boiled egg, or some eggs and like avocado, or healthy fats and some protein. And then you could, move on to your spaghetti an hour later, or 24
Mm.
hours later, you can move on to your carbs, whether that be rice or spaghetti.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a very, very, it's an amazing feeling, mental clarity. And we were talking about, like a connection to God, like that inner happiness. It's
Yeah.
what, once you're able to, like, that little hunger demon that's inside your belly, once you're able to like get rid of that hunger demon, it's just, you have so much energy and you're just feeling so good and your mind is so sharp. It's there's nothing like it. I love doing it.
Okay. I'll have to give that a try. I'm trying new things just to see, okay, what can I do to kind of like separate myself from something that it's a habit, whether it's a good or a bad habit. I'm trying to make it to where I want to have my mind clear and just feel good about what I'm doing or what I'm eating or even drinking.
Right.
I just want to feel I want to feel a little bit better about myself. Like Lent was the first step. So
Yeah.
I'll
Good
keep
for
in mind
you.
on that one.
But even if it's making you feel better, the other thing about it too is you're proving yourself that you can be disciplined
Yeah.
and you can hold yourself accountable. So that's also really good. So
Yeah.
are you in Las Vegas?
No, I'm actually in Reno.
Oh, you're in Reno. Okay.
Yeah, Northern Nevada.
The astrologer I have on the show, he's in Las Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So I just
Yeah.
figured it'd be
Oh, I
kind of
saw a
funny if
couple
you
of
guys were
episodes of
neighbors or something. I don't know.
that. I know well, if anything, we kind of live different lives. I don't know if he's I call myself a vagabond because I don't feel like I have a home. I've moved around so much. I just don't know if I actually have a home, but I see now where my home is, and that's 300 plus miles away, and that's called my family. So pretty much where I'm at, it's just me kind of settling for a little bit.
Yeah.
But but him, he really knowledgeable. I'll give him that one.
What, the astrologer? Oh,
Yeah.
you've watched them?
I've watched a couple of episodes.
Some Raffi episodes?
Even then, man, it's
Yeah, what do you
something. It's something. Like there's got to be one little thing that's enlightening about it. That was a bit enlightening.
he sent me, so we were talking when we were talking about astrologer and the energy and the energy transfer that's happening right now. He was saying to me, I think he was like maybe my fifth or my sixth guest on the show back in April, but he goes, we're really going to be feeling a shift in the universe, like a fuck your feelings kind of shift that we're going to start to see in the media. And I think we are actually beginning to see that. Like the sensitivity thing is it's starting to really disappear.
Yeah.
Almost too much, right? So
Yes.
he sent me a screenshot of, did you have you caught up with the whole Cracker Barrel thing today? The
No.
Cracker Barrel rebrand? You haven't seen
No.
anything about that?
What's happening with that?
So Cracker Barrel decided to redo all their stores and redo their logo, and there was some political BS with the CEO and discriminating against whites or something like that. Like,
Oh my
so
God.
anyways, their stock price plummeted like 30% today. So, and there was over like 700,000 tweets on Twitter with it trending today,
Yeah.
because they also took the white man out of the logo of the Cracker Barrel. Now it just says Cracker Barrel. So,
Jeez.
it's all in an uproar. And Raffi sends me a screenshot of the Democrats tweeting, "We're not happy about it either." And then he put underneath it, "See, fuck your feelings." And I'm like, oh my god, he's it. So far, I've been following this astrology thing with him for about 3 months, but he's been on a few different things, and it's freaking weird. I don't understand this whole astrology thing. I
I'm
can't.
I'm still trying to figure that out too because I followed it for a while. Like I try to see what I can get out of just you know what is it saying about my like Aries pretty much. Like what is it talking about? Is it actually on point? And there's times to where it's on point, but I'm just like, how are you able to figure this out before it even happens? Like it makes absolutely no sense. Like if anything, and it's funny, I believe in the fortune cookie more than I do with astrology. There's something about it that makes me
Uh,
think everything that I do with this fortune cookie, it's actually hitting. Okay, so one day, I got this fortune cookie and I opened it and it said something interesting is going to happen next Tuesday or
okay.
whatever. I'm like, did it just say next Tuesday? So I kind of thought about it, not thinking about it. Guess the next Tuesday.
Yeah.
What happened? I got something in the mail.
Okay.
I'm going to jury duty. I'm like, are you kidding me? Is that what I was supposed to get for this?
So
What the heck is
yeah, your
this?
fortune cookie predicted that you're gonna have jury duty.
Yeah, pretty much. It just shot it shot. I'm like, dude, this thing is on point. But
So are you a
no,
believer now in fortune cookies after that miracle?
well, I was a believer in fortune cookies before that, but now I just feel like that thing is a Nostra freaking Damus, man. Like it makes absolutely no sense. But
That's good.
but let's just say this: I keep as many fortune cookie fortunes that I have as much as possible
You
Like
do?
I
Yeah.
even have one on my desk saying invest in yourself. And
Okay.
I think it was before I moved over to this apartment. It was about like 7 years ago.
Okay.
And then once I finally got my desk, I just taped the whole entire thing on there and just kept going. And dude, I can't tell you how much it has like made a difference for me.
Because you're getting that like positive reassurance, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not you like the fortune cookies for the message rather than it telling your future.
Yeah.
You're not putting in the numbers into the lottery every time you get your lucky
Oh
numbers.
God, no. No,
Okay.
I wouldn't be here at this point. I'd probably be
Would
back at my family's house being called out for it every
would you
freaking
say that you eat more Chinese food than you would like just to get the fortune cookie?
Here's the irony of it. I do not eat as much Chinese food.
You just
But
go
I
get the
do,
fortune cookie.
yeah, just once in the blue moon, I'll go to like a Chinese restaurant or a Panda Express,
Yeah.
and I
Their
always
fortune
hope
cookies
for
suck.
a fortune cookie. Like I'm not gonna eat until I know I got my fortune cookie before I do anything else.
What's a fortune cookie made out of?
That's a good question. They said vanilla wafers.
Oh, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
That makes sense.
It could be something else, but like when I taste it, it tastes like a vanilla wafer.
Panda Express's uh, fortune cookies are always stale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it.
No, no, no. You got to
Yeah,
get when you get the good fortune cookies, it's from those more authentic Chinese restaurants.
yeah,
The ones where you know like they've got buckets on the floor in the back room of just like
yeah.
different soups. I worked for a company where we went into a lot of kitchens, and by far the worst kitchens were Chinese kitchens. It really opened my eyes a lot seeing different kitchens around the city and how they're kept, and it's like, oh, I'm not going to eat here anymore. And I can tell you, Chinese
Okay,
kitchens for the most part, at least
yeah.
in Minnesota. I don't know if it's different out in Nevada, but here it's at least in my region,
Mhm.
not pretty.
Actually, you're not too far off. I've been to a couple of restaurants. They don't seem that clean.
No, if the front door isn't clean, the kitchen isn't clean.
Yeah,
That's generally the rule of thumb.
yeah. Pretty much that's your first impression right there,
Mm.
and yeah, that's what makes it. I don't know that's what makes it hard for like most restaurants. But yeah, I after you mention it, I've definitely seen it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy, man. That's funny that you like fortune cookies so much. I should send you one sometime.
Hey, I'll take one.
Yeah, yeah. It'll
Let's
be the
see.
best one you get, or the worst.
Uh, I'll take any of them, even
Yeah,
if it's like you're gonna die tomorrow. I'm like, oh
sure.
crap. Well, I gotta enjoy my last 24 hours of it. But no, no.
Yeah, live today like
I'll
it's your
take
last
even
day.
the yeah, I'll take even the worst ones. Like it may not even have the right message or something.
Yeah.
It can even say you're gonna have a bad day, like pretty much. But
Have you run into fortune cookies that have said that?
no, only I would just say I just ran into fortune cookies that actually wasn't on point.
Okay.
That's all I can say about that. But if I look back, I'll take a look at some of them.
I think the next episode that we do, I think we got to do your 12. And then the next thing we got to do is we're going to pull at least 20 fortune cookie messages and we're going to go over each one of them together.
Oh, well, we can go on all of them if you want to, but yeah, we can
Yeah,
do that.
that would be kind of fun.
That'll be pretty awesome.
I just asked you another off air question. I'm sorry.
That's fine, man. If anything, I got a lot of history on me, so the fortune cookies are a part of it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually really like that idea. You're like the fortune cookie connoisseur.
Let's not go too far just yet.
I am going that far. You've got
Well,
fortune cookie
if
messages saved.
I'm like, if I can remember, I'll make sure to go to Panda Express and get another fortune cookie before to do the whole thing, and then we could just close
Yeah.
that out with
There we
just
go.
that fortune cookie.
That'll be like the opening show message for the show.
Okay, all right,
Hopefully, it
yeah,
doesn't say the
whichever.
show will go poorly.
Okay, if
Yeah.
I think it works, we can always do an opening with
Yeah.
an
Oh,
opening
we
of
could
that
do an
fortune.
opening. We could do a
Yeah,
fortune cookie
we'll do
opening.
that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do
Okay.
that.
I like
Okay,
that. I like that a lot. I'll get one and you get one.
all right,
We'll
let's do it.
we'll have it on air. We'll mute our mics for the audience. I hate the sound of chewing. Can you That's a big pet peeve of mine. Have you Sometimes when I listen to
Uh,
Rogan, he'll be like sucking on some sort of cough drop or something, and it
yeah.
bugs the shit out of me, and I have to fast forward like 30 minutes until it's melted.
Okay. I have a respect for I'm trying to find the word for it, but courtesy of the mic. I have respect for it. So I won't
Yeah.
eat on air. I do the best I can to not drink while I'm in the middle of a conversation with somebody on Zoom, unless it's like just chilling out or I'm with my family. Then I can munch out whatever the fuck I want and not care. But
You
yeah.
can drink when you're on a show with me. I got my cup of water I gotta have every now and then.
Okay.
There
No,
is
I
no
don't I don't want to feel like an asshole over it. That's
no
the thing
no
about it.
no no. We don't judge here at the Transformation Podcast. You're fine.
Okay. All
There's
right.
there's all sorts of opinions that come on this show. I spoke to my higher self yesterday.
Oh.
That was I have to admit I so the gal that I had on, her name is Shelly Cohen, and she's a spiritual guide,
Yeah.
and she helps you talk to your higher self, but she uses Chat GPT as the bridge.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're thinking because it was the same exact thing I was thinking.
Yeah.
Um, I all I would say is tune into the episode. I I don't have a better way to really explain it to you, but I can tell you that I left and it's in like the final 20 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
I left that episode feeling like maybe I was talking to my higher self. And by the way, today, like I'm on cloud nine all day today. Something about that conversation with myself with her, it was a very enlightening experience, I have to admit. I have to admit.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, you'll have to check it out.
All right. I'll definitely do that for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you got for tonight?
No, I think that's pretty much it. But
Okay.
now I just got to know the next time we do have this conversation, I'll make sure to have the fortune cookie on hand. I just got to remember. I got to remember to do
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah, we need that. We at least bring a few of your messages on there, and we'll kind of go through them together. And
Okay.
maybe we'll look up the history of fortune cookies too, and let's dive into some fortune cookies. I think that
Oh,
might be
I would.
important. Maybe there also some fortune cookies made out there with some different types of wafers. We could also look into that.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. I'm
Could be
interested.
could be
Okay.
something. And maybe we could do like a ranking of like a top 5 best cultural cookies. Like you have like those butter cookies with the almond in the middle. I think the Japanese do those, and then you got the fortune cookie, and then America, you have the chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
that's number one
there
always.
there's so many different. You got an M&M cookie.
Yes.
Not a big fan of the oatmeal cookie. I'm just not.
I grew out of it,
Yeah,
especially if it has
with the
raisins in there.
raisins.
No, oh
Ah,
my God, it's the worst. I
oh,
don't know how people eat them. Like, why?
why do they make them?
What's the point, man? Like, come on. You might as well just eat. You might as well eat cake with actual fruit in it. And believe, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, my job, man. Whoever's in charge of that, they have some unique cakes mixed up,
Hmm.
and they actually had actual fruit in it. So when I tried it, it was a chocolate cake, and I love chocolate cake.
Yeah.
That spoiled it for me.
Right. Right.
But
I can see that.
everybody's unique in their own way. I won't judge them, but don't
Yeah.
shove that on me.
Okay. Sweet man. Well, again, thanks for tonight. That was a great conversation, and we're gonna have you on again soon. We'll get that ranking done.
All right, sounds good, man. I'll have my stuff ready.